Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Irfan Hussain and I'm here with a new video regarding our course of writing skill. And in writing skill, we are going to discuss today a topic that is actually a very important topic of communication skill. That is 7 C's of communication. What are these 7 C's? These are seven characteristics, 7 properties that your writing or communication need to make it a solid and affirmative communication. What are these? These are completeness, concreteness, courtesy, correctness, clarity, consideration, and conciseness. Let us discuss all these attributes, all these features one by one. The first one is completeness. It means when you are saying something, when you are communicating something, whether you are communicating through oral communication or through written communication, you must give a complete message. It should give all the required facts, and if these facts or any information need to be explained, you must explain it so that the audience, whether it is a reader or a listener, could understand it easily. And if to make it clear, you need to add some information, you must add that information to explain your message. And if your message is a long one, that is a kind of a complex message, that you think that it cannot be easily understood, you may, or rather you should, subdivide your subject as you make headings in your writing. Why these headings are made? These headings are made to make a subdivision of the topic so that it could be easily understood by the reader. So your message must be complete, it must have required facts and their explanation, and if you need to add further information, you must add it. And if your message is a long one and it is a kind of complex message, you must subdivide it into further little smaller topics. Next is concreteness. Your message or your communication should not be based on any kind of assumptions. It should consist factual material. Whatever you give in your message, it must be a fact, and it must be a concrete fact. You should not give any kind of ambiguous information in it. And if you need to if your topic has that kind of requirement, you should give data and figures as well. For example, you cannot say that in your class few students are absent and few are present. No, you should tell how many students, whether 20 are absent or 5 are absent. This is what we call that factual material. This is what we call data and figures, and there should be no assumptions. And if you tell about your college and you tell that my library has millions of books, that will be an assumption, that will be exaggeration. So when you are communicating something, you must give correct data. The next is courtesy. You should respect your audience or reader. If you are communicating through oral communication, that you will have audience in front of you, and if you're writing something, it will be read by someone. So whatever the manner you adopt, you must be respectful for your audience. You should show courtesy to them. You should not hurt their feeling. You should not write or say anything that can hurt anyone or can injure the feelings of others. And also avoid taboos. every culture has certain taboos, certain topics that you cannot discuss, that you cannot talk about. So when you are communicating something, do not go for these types of topics. Correctness. This is the core of communication. You have to give correct data, correct figures, and in a correct manner. Be explicit, never be ambiguous. Use short sentences. Do not use long sentences, because long sentences make the structure complicated, and not it is not possible for every reader to understand or comprehend the long sentences. So try to use short sentences, and it will also be easy for you to handle with the short sentences, because if you try to write long sentences, it will be difficult for you to control the structure, to control the clauses. So it is a good habit if you write in short and simple sentences, and never think that short and simple sentences cannot be considered to be good communication. It is always good when you give correct and reliable data, and use concrete words. Don't use ambiguous words. Avoid fuzzy language, and if you're writing, do not use parentheses excessively, and as I told you, that do not use ambiguous words. Consideration. You should know your audience. Whenever you're going to communicate something to someone, for example, if I, being a teacher, I am asked to deliver some lecture in some seminar or in some workshop, what will be my consideration? These are the typical questions that every presenter, every resource person asks. What is the level of students? What is the number of the students? What is their age group? So these are the things that you have to consider in your mind when you are writing something or when you are speaking something, because you have to write according to the mental, physical, and educational level of the audience or the receiver of your conversation. So if you know your audience, you can communicate them in better way. Be concise, be relevant, don't go astray, don't talk beat about the bush, don't beat about the bush. Avoid unnecessary detail, and do not pack with excessive information. Information can be digested to some particular level, and if you pack every line with information, it will not be easy for the reader to comprehend or understand all these things. So do not make it dry with excessive information. And same is with your examination and your essays. When you write something, and if you write in the concise way and you provide the required material, required information, you're marked well. But if you keep on adding unnecessary details that are not relevant to your topic, it always deteriorate the standard of your writing. So be relevant and be concise. This is all what about the 7 C's of communication. These are the 7 important features of communication. Let me repeat again: your completeness, concreteness, courtesy, correctness, clarity, consideration, and conciseness. You have to consider all these factors when you are writing something, and if you consider these factors in your writing, then your writing will be definitely a great one. And one aspect is to be clear, that these things are not to memorized only, but these are actually to infuse in your writing. It is not a good thing just to memorize and reproduce it on the paper. When you're writing something, then you have to keep all these factors in your mind. These courses, these videos, these lectures are to make your writing better. These are only the aids how you can make your writing better. It is not only that you can just memorize how to make your writing better, but you have to make your writing better. So it is all for today, and you can contact me. This is my email, sayyedirfanrizvi@gmail.com. Below is the link of my YouTube channel where you can watch other videos of other courses as well, and also there's my phone number. You can text me, you can WhatsApp me if you feel any kind of problem. If you want to suggest anything, I will welcome every kind of feedback. So thank you very much. God bless you.